Hey.
We can talk to them.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi, I'm Linksy.
I'm Caleb.
And this is Think Outside the Coop. We're inviting you today to discuss with us the topic of new beginnings and challenging yourself to start anew when you feel stuck in the life that you've created for yourself.
That's right. Sometimes being stuck in the same rut over and over again can be exhausting. And sometimes just having a new outlet, a new beginning is always healthy, even in the middle of doing something serious and important. So just like this podcast, we've tried doing it for about 4 months now, I would say. And I think we wanted to have a new beginning, a new chapter to this. So we decided to pivot, and I love that word, pivot.
I do love that word.
It's so fun. So today's about beginnings and how to really start something new. To just kind of lay out how it works and where to go from it is the very beginning of a beginning is like the spark. Like how it all begins is there's something that just like
Pilot light.
lights a little fire in you. Yeah. Just feels right.
Yeah. What's your thing right now? What lit a fire in you recently?
Honestly, the autonomy of engineering really lit a little spark in me. I've always been a math whiz as a kid, but I kind of like never put it into practice. I never really like used it for anything.
You never challenged yourself in any job you've been in? Like always?
No.
Well, I mean,
The Forest Service,
you
it was
did,
challenging in its own physical demands. Like how far could I physically push
but
myself?
not mentally.
Sometimes mental. Like there was times that I peaked 6,000 elevation gain
True.
just to dig a hole for 8 hours, dig a trench, to then hike back down.
You're seeing how far your body and mind could mentally handle something.
Absolutely. But it was pushing myself to limits versus like actually having like a healthy challenge to like grow into. It was just more of like, how far could I push myself before I break down?
I think you were kind of comfortable in pushing yourself physically at that point of your life. And I don't know that you've always felt like you could push yourself mentally. Like it seems like every time that you were talking about getting a new job or something, like the idea of doing something mentally taxing without the physical part, there was always like that block. When I started my new job, the reason I never wanted to do something in psychology was because there was just this mental block. Like I had been told it's going to be too hard. It's going to be, difficult. It's traumatic. And you're going to have to hold all this trauma for other people. And because I listened to other people and like their ideas of what's difficult for them, I never realized that what's difficult for them wasn't difficult for me. Like that was what I'm good at and where my calling is. Because I have a lot of desire and like passion to do that thing. Not saying it's not difficult, like pushing through years of being told you shouldn't and couldn't do something, and then finally getting to that point where you're doing it, it's like, wow, I love this, and I could have been doing this for so much longer, and I like waited so long to do it, and now it's like I'm starting at the ground floor. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard pushing through that. Like it's a challenge of my own mindset of like, oh, I thought I couldn't do this, and now that I'm doing it, it's like this wasn't as difficult as I figured it would be, and I love it.
Yeah. It
almost
doesn't
too much.
No, not too much. I think it was probably right to get in. I mean, for one, to find that passion again and realize like this is really what you want to do, and you finally made it. I wouldn't say that anything beforehand was a waste. I think everything leading up to this point was getting ready for this. Maybe if you did it at an earlier stage in life or doing something else.
I did not have the confidence.
If I did, my new job a couple years ago, I wouldn't have been ready for that.
Yeah, I did not have the confidence to do like work with people. I just wouldn't have had the boundaries. I wouldn't have been able to handle like the difficult parts of the job. I didn't have the ability to hold people's emotions the way I do now.
Yeah, you're right.
Through going through my own stuff,
to be confident with us and with you, to be able to take on someone else's stuff and be like, okay, I can put yours aside and know ours is safe. and then you can work on someone else's and not carry that. That's huge.
Not having a support at home would have made working in psychology a lot different too, a lot more difficult too, because you need that support at home that people are going to like be able to mentally take care of you as well, or at least take care of themselves, so you don't have to take care of them and yourself.
That's right.
And I never had that. Like, I always took care of everyone, so then also having to take care of everyone in my job would have been a lot.
I got you, baby. I'll take care of you. I'm 28 years old, and I'm still just now finding out what I am passionate about and what I think I want to do as like a career, as a long-term thing. Yeah, you're 30 years old and getting it figured out. There's no such thing as like too late. I don't believe in that. Even in your 50s and 60s, and you're finding something new that you want to get into, it's not too late at all. Find that passion and you run with it. Like, you find that spark.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
I intend to have more in my future. Like, at 50, who knows? I may decide to completely change what I'm doing.
Me too. I might end up just teaching a high school or something later down the road. I don't know.
That's a great thing about life, is you can decide to change it whenever you want.
Sure
Only
can.
you can make that decision, though. I think a lot of us are in our own way, I guess. You know? Like, we stop ourselves from having
Oh, yeah.
the future that we really, really want because of the mental blocks that we put up there for ourselves. Like myself, being like, oh, I could never work in psychology because everyone says it's so difficult. And then I realize it's not difficult for me. It's just everyone's different. You know, we all have our own passions, and that's what makes us all unique and beautiful.
That's right. Finding that spark. After you've found it, you know, you got to dedicate your time and resources and energy into that spark, into that, you know, how much is this going to take out of me, finding a new spark? Let's say jobs, like how much time is it going to take in? A lot at first to get prepared and trained and ready for what we're doing. With anything, you know, even if you're picking up painting for a first time, how much time are you going to have to put into that before realizing, like, this is really what I want to do. This is really a passion for me. And knowing how much time are you going to commit to this? How much energy are you going to commit to this? Are you willing to?
I think it's important that whatever you decide to do when you're really trying to change your life, is you have to be passionate about it, because the amount of work it takes to start new, you have to just love it. You know, like I'm going from making 6 figures to making $16 an hour. And I don't mind, because I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm realizing like this is the first step in a larger career.
It's pivot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to put your pride away for a little bit.
Yeah, from making $75K a summer to making less than that a year hurts. But I was different back then. I was single. I was naive. I was pretty self-centered, not in a poor way, but I just didn't put any energy in anybody else. You know, and it's a different story now.
You weren't ready to. And I think that that's also another thing, is people have this idea of, oh, I need to put everyone ahead of myself. And when you're young, no, when you're young, you need to put into yourself. Unless you have like a parent or like someone that you have to take care of physically. And like you're just the only one that can do that. If that's part of your culture, I mean, then yeah, put yourself on the back burner if you feel like that's what's right. But when you're young, that's the one time that you'll have to actually take care of yourself and become the person that you want to be, so that you can start to share your life with other people. If you want to have kids, you know, you can then have kids and you can pour into them because you've already poured into yourself. And when we have younger people who have this ideal pushed on them that they have to get married young, they have to have kids young because that's just what's expected of them, and then they do that and they never get to experience what they really want to do in life because they had to work in a mill or, you know, get a journeyman's really quick, and they don't enjoy what they're doing. They're not living in their passion. And then their kids suffer for that, and their partner suffers for that, and they're suffering, you know. So if you don't take care of yourself first, you never truly get to pour into others the way that they deserve.
Yeah, you're right. And letting, on the other side of that, like if you are the parent and you have a child that you want to pour all that energy into, also knowing to letting go and letting them have that passion and follow their ideas and new beginnings that they want in life too, you know, and being able to let go and let them decide that for themselves.
Yeah.
So it's a trade on both sides, as much as you should focus on yourself and worry about you, and then also worrying about other people that you care about. But then on the other side, like letting go of that, you know, it's hard, but it's important too. Because otherwise you're holding on to an idea that someone should be doing something else as their passion and realize that it's actually not that.
You hold back the people that you love most from doing what they really deserve. And like, that's kind of what I was saying. Other people telling me that I couldn't do something, and it held me back from my passion for years. And then I became resentful of them, resentful of myself. Yeah. So holding people back just because you think you know better than them, what's good for them, it's only harmful to your relationship with them and to their relationship with themselves, especially if you're someone like parent or guardian or somebody that they really, really look up to, like a coach.
Yeah, you're right. Having a goal in mind or your dream or passion set in motion. This one is kind of more of once you have the idea of what you want to do, your passion, your new beginning, having a goal or a plan for that, I think is very vital to keeping true to it. Having a goal being like this new job idea of, let's say that you want to get into accounting, and you have to realize that I need to learn about these certain rules or boundaries that people talk about in accounting. And you got to have these goals and expectations set to be able to thrive in that kind of world with that job. Having that goal and being like, okay, I need to reach this level of like understanding about this within a month, let's say, so I can feel comfortable and confident with what I'm doing. Then I think that's great. Because then from there, you kind of set yourself up for this path to be like, okay, what amount of time and energy am I going to put into this? When am I going to get out of this? How much am I going to dedicate to this to reach that point? And having goals really feeds like your mental happiness and emotional happiness, your physical health. Like everything is wrapped into one, and like really giving yourself something to strive for and realizing how far you've come with it is important. It really helps you feel fulfilled.
Starting small too, like me starting with just reading books, you know, and getting that baseline, and then deciding the next step was college. And then with college, I kept doing what I was doing before for work, doing content, because I knew that I could just continue doing that in the background and making enough money while I go to college. And then from there, getting a new job, you know, once I was graduated from that. So taking baby steps, you don't have to do it all at once. And I think that's where people get overwhelmed and kind of decide, oh, I can't do this, because you're trying to go from the job that you like were working, or I don't know, you're trying to just go 18 steps ahead. Like if I was like, oh, I'm going to become a counselor, and I hadn't even like picked up a psychology book yet, you know, like that seemed daunting to me. And that's where I was like, I'm never going to college. I'm never going to do that. But I started with books and realized I like this. I could do the college thing now because I know that I like reading, and I know it's going to be a lot of work. I know I like writing. I've been journaling a lot. So I had already put into place a small enough platform to launch off of to know that I could be successful in the next step. And so maybe the first step is getting your mental health in order. Maybe you're not able to expend yourself in that place, and you need to take some things off your plate, some relationships that are unhealthy for your growth. So starting one thing at a time, what's the next thing that I can do right now that'll get me closer to this goal and passion to make it seem more attainable?
Absolutely. What can you let go of to take on something like that if your plate is full, if your cup is full?
And make it small, make it attainable. If it literally is just putting boundaries in place and getting rid of that one friendship that tells you you can't do the thing that you need to do, even if it's a parent, a sibling, an aunt, an uncle, whoever it is, you have to let them go for the time being if you really ever want to achieve that. And that doesn't mean that they're gone forever.
That doesn't mean the relationship is over. It
Yeah.
just means that it's time to focus on your passion.
Yeah.
So
Or maybe you need to go down to a part-time job so that you can go to college or something like that. So having those things in place before you make a leap that seems unattainable.
yeah, absolutely. Taking action. That's the next biggest thing is once you've had everything planned out and the ideas of what you want to do, get into school and stuff like that, taking action, getting out there and doing the work, getting yourself actually in motion to doing it. I know this is kind of like the biggest step. It's a leap of faith for a lot of people. I think are scared to take that jump, that leap of faith into something new. And they maybe plan out everything and they get all the groundwork ready to go. And by the time it comes to take the action, they freeze.
Freeze response happens because you're trying to think 18 steps ahead. You're not you're thinking, oh, I need to be a counselor. And then you're thinking, well, that means I have to go to college. I have to quit my job. I have to let go of all these friends and make new friends at this new college. And you don't feel like you have the support. And so you have to start small. And so when you have that freeze response, yeah, you might be missing out on it right then. You might feel like you're missing out on it. And that kind of contributes to that freeze response. You start feeling guilt and shame because you're not where you think you deserve to be. And once you kind of think smaller and you think just next step in front of you and release all of that shame and guilt and anxiety, you start focusing on the progress that you're making. And your freeze response turns into understanding for why you need to take these first steps first. And it took me a long time to get to that point. I used to be in a constant freeze response of just like, oh, I can't even like do the dishes right now. Like I still feel that way sometimes where I feel overwhelmed. It's like, I can't even clean the house today. Like the more that you get used to thinking just one step ahead and not getting ahead of yourself, it does become easier and it becomes second nature. But at first, it is a conscious decision of just like, I need to pull it back for a second. Journaling has been really helpful for me, but maybe one good friend could help you talk about it. Maybe a therapist if you don't have anyone that you trust to talk about these things that can help walk you through it.
In anybody's world now, you should be safe on the internet, yes. But I think there is a lot of good out of places if you look in the right directions. And of course, you're going to catch somebody probably talking negative. It's a lot easier to talk negative than it is positive. So be mindful of that. People will definitely feed on it. But finding support, whether it's online or somebody in person, a cousin or a coworker or an off-distance family member or a counselor, maybe someone at your school, at your job, your neighbor.
Just one trusted person. Doesn't matter who it is to you.
Anybody. Sharing it with somebody and building that support, letting someone else in the world know, like, hey, this is where I'm at. I set a goal. I set an idea that I want to do. Sharing that with somebody, it makes you feel known and makes you feel recognized. And that a lot of times is just enough to help somebody get in the right direction. Because maybe they'll give you feedback and be like, that's a great idea. I love it. Go with it. Or maybe they give you an idea as in like, hey, maybe you should try this when you're getting into that, you know? Or maybe they give you the right advice and being like, are you sure this is the right decision for you?
Or maybe they give you that advice and say, I don't think you can do this. And you realize that they aren't a good friend for you because you know that this is what you need to do and they're not supportive of your growth.
Yeah, that can happen too.
There's a lot of people in your life who will see you grow and change and be threatened by it. And it's okay to want to cut those people off for the own greater good view, you know, for what you need to do to succeed in life. I'm giving you that permission right now. Like, it's okay if you need to let someone go because they're not supportive of who you're becoming and who you want to be. That's not selfish to me. Because you will find so many people along the way who will love to see you grow and live in what is your passion. People who don't like to see you enjoying life are a red flag.
Yeah, to carry that weight will drag you down. And it won't let you follow your passion. Absolutely. I'd much rather spend my life knowing I only have a couple of friends that care than plenty who don't know me, don't care.
Yeah. Cutting
Cutting people out is hard.
It is.
But it's
necessary to growth. It's a part of boundary making, and it's a part of challenging yourself. I think we all have to go through that. Either you go through life having to learn to trust people or having to learn to cut people off. And sometimes it's usually a little bit of both.
Yeah. I watched a TED Talk. His name was Andrew Lindley, and he had a conversation about failure and what it means to setting goals, and sometimes you don't meet those expectations. His story was a little bit different. It was about a marathon run. He signed up for one called The Rut. It's in Montana. It's 18-mile run. It's over a couple of 10,000-foot peaks. Brutal run. It sounds awful. And when he tried doing it, it was like over 100 degrees.
Oh my
and
gosh.
They have set cues for a lot of marathon runs like that, where if you don't make the cutoff in that time, they will disqualify you because you won't be able to make it. And for your own health and concern, you know, like if you're lagging that far behind and you're dehydrated, they'll cut you out because they don't want you to die out there. And he made it 14 miles out of the 18 and they cut him off. And that's
rough.
even a harder failure than maybe 3 miles in.
Yeah, because you were almost there.
Yeah. And his dad had heart complications already beforehand, and he had those goals set in mind because he wanted to prove to himself and to his community, his family, his dad, that he could do it, and he failed. And instead of giving up, he decided to try again. And then right before that race, he found out that his dad had harder health complications, and he decided to shift his goal to something else, to something smaller, more obtainable. So then he ran like a smaller run and he nailed it. And then he got to spend that rest of his time with his dad instead of dedicating all of it to something else. And unfortunately, he had to let go of his dad, you know. But with that,
But he
he
was there.
got to be there for it. Yeah. So the goals change. And sometimes failure is what shows you this is a real goal that you want to follow. Failing happens. I don't think people will nail it on the first try. And a lot of times I wish people do fail on the first try because it kind of proves to you, like, is your ego too strong to continue this passion that you want if you failed the first time? If you really want to get into your degree, let's say, and you finally get into a job and you realize that you fail right away, or you weren't ready for it, or it was more difficult, or maybe you messed up somewhere, and then realizing like, oh, I failed, you know, I can't do it anymore. All of this for nothing. Then maybe it wasn't for you. Because if you're not willing to fail and be like, I want to get back up and I want to do this again, I want to do it right, then that really shows that this is something you want to do.
Yeah.
That is a true
Can you
passion.
run the full race?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's not like you're just going to find your passion. It's going to be easy. The reason most people don't follow their passion is because it is quite literally the most challenging thing you will ever face.
Yeah.
And some people fall right into it. And for those people, like, applause to you.
Yes.
Because I know very little people who have fallen on their passion and found it easy on the first time. But for those of us who find our passion and feel like it's just a struggle to keep going, I mean, I'm just telling you, like, keep moving, because once you get over those like difficulties, it gets easier each time. You know, each challenge you have to face, you become more attuned to the pressure, more attuned to, well, I'm going through something right now and I'm going to become stronger. And then it becomes exciting when you're hitting a challenge.
A new challenge within it. Then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I've run into something else that I don't know yet.
And this one will be bigger and, you know, more exciting, and it'll be huge to others, but to you, because you've already gone through 3 or 4 of these challenges, this one will be easy. It's like me getting into graduate school.
Yeah.
A year ago, if I had gotten into graduate school and I hadn't gone through what I've gone through in the past year, I wouldn't have been ready. I feel ready for it now.
I think so too.
You know?
Yeah.
I've spoken at a conference that I didn't think I could do, but I did it and I pushed through and I did well. We won. You know, we won an award. And so being able to push myself through that showed me, like, I have what it takes, you know?
And accepting that you actually can do that too. That big part of that poll was winning
mindset.
a conference speech and then being like, meh. And it's like all that for nothing, you know? And being able to accept that victory. If you actually
Yeah.
find it and you nail it, then like take that confidence and be like, I did this. I
Yeah.
can do this.
People with ADHD, I feel like that's why we struggle so much with goal setting and with challenging ourselves and actually being consistent in our passions, is because our dopamine receptors are not as strong as neurotypical people. And so when you finish something, taking time to like really consciously saying, I did that, I'm impressive, I succeeded and I'm happy about it, is
right.
so important. Like doing something to reward yourself, whatever that is. Like,
Yeah.
super important, because otherwise you will burn out really quickly.
Yeah. Take that win, prove yourself that I am strong, I am worthy, I am successful at what you've done.
That's right.
I couldn't be more proud about how much we've gone through together and grown, how much everything has changed, and taking new beginnings, taking new steps into our lives together. And
Yeah, me too.
so I've been really
We've
excited.
grown a lot.
We have grown so much.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here to start this new chapter. I want to put a lot more love and energy and focus into this for what it should be.
We're pivoting. And we hope that you pivot with us.
Come pivot with us.
Join us on the new channel, and we'll see you next time
That's right.
on Think Outside the Coop.
We're going to be on Spotify and YouTube here, and we're also going to be on iHeartRadio. We're going to be having a lot more guests on board. We're going to be talking more serious conversations. We're going to be putting a lot more energy and focus into this kind of style.
So check out the links in the description below if you want to follow us elsewhere, and we'll see you then.
That's right.
Bye.
Goodbye.